Welcome, friends, to the second half of the first day of our 3-day events in Dubai here. Again, I'm very happy to see all of you. In the morning, I was talking to you about some basic truths about our own self. Our self is our soul, our unit of consciousness that has come into this created world to have a different experience, and then we are supposed to go back home. We forgot where our house is, where we belong. We forgot who we were and got so much attached to the experience we were having in the physical world that we got caught up in a trap. We have now decided to find our way back and go to where we belong, our true home, Sachkhand. Our true home is within our own self. It's not outside. Whoever has found it inside. Nobody has ever found it outside. Outside is a projected experience. The projection takes place from inside and projects outward and creates an outward world. So therefore, you cannot find something in an outside shadow. It has to be found from the origin of all experiences taking place inside us. So that is why we are assembled here for this purpose. I have lost a few teeth, so you might find my voice some hissing sound coming. I hope I can be understood. Is there anybody who can't understand my voice? Please raise your hand. How many of you can understand what I am saying? Please raise your hands. The other thing is that this, I did not lose my teeth merely by old age. They were pulled out by the dentist so that I could have a surgery on my knees. I did not see the connection between my knee and my teeth. But anyway, the knee surgeon said, go get your teeth pulled out. So the first surgery, 8 were pulled out. 3, 4 more pulled out. So I have fewer left now. Some are half. So it is an imperfect state. But actually, all our physical life is imperfect. When we cannot see the whole picture, it becomes imperfect. You look at my master's picture. Beautiful. He's a handsome guy, lovely picture. Supposing I take this picture out of the frame and cut it into small pieces, 1 inch square, and I can place the whole picture in those small pieces like a jigsaw puzzle. I can put them on the table. And I can keep on seeing those pictures one by one, all the pieces. I can see 1,000 times those pieces. I can't see the picture. This is the truth about our life. We have cut the truth into little pieces called days and nights, here and there. This time and space are cutting our total experience into small pieces. Therefore, we cannot see the whole picture. But there is a place inside us where we can see the whole picture. And the idea is to reach that point where you see the whole picture, that everything becomes visible at the same time. This show of creation has taken place in stages. It has not all taken place at once. It has taken place in stages. From our true home, we went into first phase of individuation. That means we were one, only one. We are one. We never became two, but we created the illusion of being more than one, and we became many. If you look at a mirror. The mirror shows your image. You can put 100 small mirrors, round mirrors on a wall. You will see 100 pictures of yours. But actually it's only one person whose images you see. Supposing the mirrors are not all even, some are straight, some are bent, like they used to have in some amusement parks, like laughing mirrors. You look small in one, big in one, fat in another. Still it's one person. So when we go into reflection, we can create the many out of one. This creation is a reflection, and the one has become the many. And it was deliberately done. What was the need for one to become many? Need was because that one, our totality of consciousness, our ultimate reality, which is only one, that ultimate reality had certain characteristics in it, certain features in it, which were built into it. Those features are called love, prem, intuition, real knowledge, not requiring mind, and blissful state, a state of happiness. These three things belong to that one. So the one was love and knowledge and blissful state. But it was not experiencing that, it was only one. It created the many within itself to have the experience of love, experience of knowledge, and experience of bliss. The many were created to have that experience. This is phase one of creation. When I was young, somebody told me that spiritual path means that we are drops of ocean, that our truth, our home is the ocean, a big sea, and we are little drops of that sea. And we have come away from that ocean, far away, and lost. Now we are trying to find our way back to go and merge in that ocean. When somebody told me that, I'll say I don't want any spiritual path. Because if I am a drop, I shine like a drop. Sun shines on me and I have a rainbow color. I have identity as a drop. Now people are telling me that the spiritual path is go and merge inside the ocean. Will it make any difference to the ocean to add one more drop? And I will lose everything. I lose my identity. How can that be good spiritual path? That you are a drop separated from the ocean, you travel back all the way and get lost in the ocean. What do you gain? You lose your identity, ocean gains nothing. It's a lose-lose game. And I was not going to be a party to that kind of spiritual path. But I was wrong. This whole expression that we are drops separated from the ocean itself was wrong. It is true that we are drops, but we are drops still in the ocean. We never left the ocean. We lost the awareness of the ocean. We lost our knowledge of the ocean. And the spiritual path is not journeying back to get merging in the ocean. The spiritual path is to recover your own truth that you are a drop of the ocean, within the ocean, and became the ocean. That is the truth. We are all, even right now, part of the ocean, never left it. Somebody said to me, if true home was so good, why did you come here? I said, we never left. We are still in the true home. We are in Sachkhand right now. We lost the awareness. We lost the knowledge of that. And the spiritual path is to regain that knowledge, to regain that awareness of who we are. It's not a journey. It's a regaining of your own awareness. And this awareness was spread out into drops so we could have experience of the many. Love experience with another conscious unit is an experience of love. Without that, it's love. To make love into an experience, the one became the many, So the one total creative power became many souls living in that one. The souls are dancing, enjoying because they are experiencing love for each other. They are experiencing a blissful state. But some of these souls are sitting here, are sitting in physical bodies, and they are not aware what is happening there. Now, when these souls who are sitting here, they go back into that awareness and find out they were always part of that ocean, these souls who have come here will dance even more. And the other souls will say, what is so special with you? You are the same soul like we are, and you are dancing even better than us. And we will be able to tell them, you don't know what you are missing, because you never saw anything else. Consciousness operates on the value of how to compare with another. We are always comparing. It's a comparison. Supposing everybody was equally rich, there will be nobody rich. If they are poor people, then some are rich, then they become rich. If everybody is poor, then nobody will be poor. Every experience we have is based upon a relationship with another experience. So that is why our coming to these experiences here and going back to our true home gives us an added appreciation of who we really are. Therefore, don't forget that one of the main things that happens by going to our true home is to appreciate our true home and to know what we really are. If we were only there, we would never appreciate it. By coming here and going back, we appreciate it. So that is why the purpose of the spiritual journey is to recognize who we really are, just to find out who we are. And we will find that we are part of the one. We created the many for experience of love, true knowledge, and the blissful state. Sat, Chit, Anand. These are part of our truth, of our true form that we are in. This was phase 1 of creation. Phase 2 was to put those individuated souls now in an experience of vastness and lot of time and vast space. And that was achieved by adding a mind to the soul. Mind was just attached to the soul and immediately began to work, powered by the soul, made alive by the soul, began to create a world of time and space, and this universe came into being. Many universes came into being. We could pick and choose any kind of universe. Consciousness was full power. It could be conscious of anything. Whatever consciousness became conscious of became creation. So it created this whole big world and placed it on time and space. So you could go from one point in time to another point in time, in the future, in the past, or any other experience. That is what our state is in the causal region, where we have no body and no senses, only mind and soul. We call it the causal stage or the Karan Sharir, because all Karan, everything has been caused from there. All the world have been created from there. It is the headquarters of the power called mind. And there is only one mind. Just like there is only one ultimate source, one total consciousness, similarly there is only one mind. It is divided by illusion into all of us, and we use it like separate minds. We think we have many different minds, but there is only one mind in the universal mind state in the causal region. After that, to make the experience even more useful, more varied, we split the perceptions. We split the experience into different forms of perception. We could see separately, hear separately, touch separately, smell separately. So these experiences were divided, which need not be divided. If in meditation you go to that stage, you see that you can experience everything without dividing. You will not be able to see any distinction between light and sound. Light will have a resonance, and sound will be bright. This division is taking place only to have a separate experience. So we got the five senses, and five senses became another cover on ourselves, and we call it another sharir, another body upon us. It's the astral body or the suksham sharir. Suksham because it is not made of matter. It's only made of senses. You can perceive something, and I will show you today the suksham sharir today. What is our suksham sharir? What is our astral form? Then the final stage was we put on a physical world, physical matter, physical world, and we are living in that right now. Each kind of body creates a different world. When we have a physical body, we see a physical world. If we don't have a physical body, this world will not look like what we are seeing. This world will change. Because this world will then look like a perception that we can see, but there is no matter in it. This whole world will become matterless, but it will be visible, it will be audible, it will have all the sense perceptions. When we leave that, we go to the causal place. It has only the cause put together like concepts. If you want to understand, there was a French philosopher who came to discuss with me these terms. Where do we create a concept from? Where do we create an idea from? Where do we create a particular product from? I'll give you an example of how we function in these levels. Soul is consciousness and makes us alive. If we don't have soul, everything is dead. Mind, body, everything is dead. Soul is life. It makes things alive. Mind becomes alive when it starts thinking. Concepts come from the mind. Concept is then translated into sense perceptions which become an idea. An idea becomes a fact or an object or substance in the physical plane. Therefore, ideas are the one that creates physical plane. This subject was discussed again, as I said in the morning. The Greek philosophers knew a lot about it. And this was a discussion between Socrates and his friends there in the Greek days, where Socrates told Plato, his disciple, that the world of ideas is more real than the physical world. He said, how can that be? How can an idea be more real than a physical world? He said, because nothing has been created in the physical world if there was no idea to create it. And he gives an example of a chair. When there was no chair, and that was only a few thousand years ago, there were no chairs, no furniture. The idea was born out of a concept. Concept was people used to sit on the floor. There was no other place to sit. They could sit on the floor, and then the concept came, one can sit higher than the floor also. Merely concept. One can sit higher than the floor. The idea came, we can create an object on which you can sit. And the idea of a chair came up. After that, physically we manufactured one chair, another shape of chair. Thousands of types of chairs have been created, one single idea. Idea of a chair. Without that, no chair would exist. These are the functions that are being performed by us in our own consciousness right now. That concepts come through the mind, and then concepts translate into ideas in the astral plane, and then the physical plane creates all that. We create everything like that, not only what we manufacture like chairs, even visions like galaxies, Earth, planet Earth, other planets, suns, moon. We create all these with this concept, idea, and creation here. This is a little more philosophical subject, but if you examine, we are moving towards expansion of experience through these means. In meditation, we can reverse all this. We can go back and see the world of ideas, We can see the world of concepts, and we can see the world of power of consciousness that made these alive. It's all inside us, and we can reverse it and go back there. So when we say that we are in this world, which is our real world, it's a created world, it's a projected world, it's being projected from inside. And these three things are functioning all the time. It is not that we have left the home and come somewhere. No, we are still functioning in our own true home. We have not gone anywhere, we just lost the awareness and which covered our eyes to see this. Sometimes we have experiences right here, we can't understand what they are. I'll tell you interesting experience of meditation by a man who was the master of my master. This gentleman whose picture you see is Hazur Maharaj Baba Sawan Singh, my master. His master's name was Baba Jamal Singh. And Baba Jamal Singh's master was Swamiji Seth Shivdyal Singh of Agra, who set up the Radha Swami movement. He was a very devoted follower. Jamal Singh was a very devoted follower of Swamiji. So he was missing his master. Love was flowing inside and he did not know what is happening. He wrote to Swamiji. He said, "My beloved Swamiji, Maharaj, my master, I am missing you too much. I want to come and have your darshan. I want to see you. Please tell me when I can come and see you." In those days, the mail took a long time to go. It was not only snail mail, it was slow speed snail mail. So it took about a month for the letter to reach Agra. And after a month or so, a reply came. A reply came from Swamiji's, said Shivdyal Singh, "My dear beloved son, I am very happy to know that your soul is roaming around in the higher regions." And Jamal Singh said, "My soul is going nowhere. I was just missing my master so much, and this must be a reply for somebody else. It could not be for me." So he wrote another letter. He wrote, "My beloved master Swamiji, I have received your letter. Apparently it is not meant for me because my soul is going nowhere. I just wanted to ask you when can I come and have your darshan to see you. So this letter you have written must be for somebody else." After a month or two, another reply comes. "I am very happy to know, my beloved son Jamal Singh, that your soul is roaming in higher regions." Surprised by these two letters, he went to Agra. Swamiji said, "You want to see me? Come next month, first week of next month." So he went there carrying both the letters with him. And he placed them before his master Swamiji. He said, "Master, you are talking in these letters. My soul is roaming around in higher regions and I see nothing at all. I am just missing. You wanted to have a darshan of yours." Then Swamiji laughed and said, "Jamal Singh, let's go inside and meditate for a while." So they walked inside. 10, 15 people were sitting outside. And after about half an hour, Swamiji and Baba Jamal Singh came out and he asked in the presence of those people, "Now tell me, Jamal Singh, when I wrote those letters to you, was your soul roaming around in the higher regions or not?" He said, "Yes, Master, it was." Swamiji said, "I am not asking whether your soul was roaming around in the last half hour that we went for meditation. I am asking whether your soul was roaming around 2 months ago, 3 months ago when I wrote those letters." He said, "Yes, Master, my soul was roaming around in the higher regions getting experiences at that time." Then Swamiji turned to the people sitting there and explained that why was Jamal Singh missing me so much? Where was that coming from? Where was the love coming from? Where was the devotion coming from? It does not come from nothing. Something is happening inside, but The master had put blinders on his eyes so he could not see. He could feel, he could not see. Why was that done? That why not let him see also what he's feeling? Because by his karmic obligations to his work, to his job, he was allowing him to continue to work here by blinders on his eyes to the inside. But when I opened the blinders, he could remember everything he saw 2-3 months back. Which means that we do not have to have a spectacle, a vision to confirm where we are. When there is so much love and devotion that you miss something, that itself shows that you are making progress inside. I am telling you this thing because many people say that we have great love and devotion for our master, but we don't see anything inside. As if we are making no progress at all. No, you are making progress. The fact that you are missing him, that your desire to have darshan is so strong, it cannot come except by internal progress that you are making. And that is why, don't think that just because you don't see something, you are not making any progress. This was an example of a guru, 2 gurus. I'm telling you their example. So that is why, when we are in this physical world, it's a balance between 2 things. It's a balance between paying off our karma, that means doing our duties and obligations. Karma is simply what we are bringing as our destiny. That means we've done something in the past and now we pay for it. It can be good or bad. Good things we have done, we get more money, we get lotteries, we get nice companionship, we get good relationship. Bad things, we get disappointment, pain, injury, suffer. A normal thing going on. This we have to do it in order to become human beings. We can't be a human being in a physical body if we don't have karma. Some people say, have my karma ended now? I said, if it's ended, you will die. You can't sustain an experience in the physical world without karma. Karma is essential to survive here. The other thing is that if your karma is all very good, past life you did everything good, you cannot be a human being. You will go into heaven. There are many heavens in the astral plane, and you will be having good time, rewards of your good karma. Supposing you did everything bad in a past life, you would not be a human being. You'd go into hell. There are many hells also. So the combination of good and bad only makes human life. Now I was very hit by this knowledge from an American, Dr. Julian Johnson. When he came, how many of you heard of Julian Johnson? You know, many of you know. He was an American missionary. He had come to India to convert people to Christianity. And he was working in Calcutta to convert people to the path of Jesus Christ and tell them that the faith in Jesus alone will take you and save you. He was doing that work, but 2 of his friends, Mr. and Mrs. Brock, who were the first initiates of Great Master in the United States of America, they had told him that if you are in India, please don't forget to meet the man with the white beard on the bank of the river, Bias in Punjab, just go and see him. So he had advised him, and he was keen to come and see him. So he wrote, Julian Johnson wrote to the Great Master, I have been told by your disciples in America that I should come and see you. I would like to come and meet you. And I am doing this job, I am in Calcutta. Great Master told his follower, one Sardar Bhagat Singh, who was an attorney, a lawyer. He was a lawyer practicing in Jalandhar, and his house was just next to the railway station of Jalandhar. So he said, Bhagat Singh, you write to him, Julian Johnson, you come, the train does not stop, the fast train from Calcutta to Amritsar does not stop in Byas, where the Dera is. It will stop either in Jalandhar or in Amritsar. Since Jalandhar will come first, you get down at Jalandhar. And this attorney, Bhagat Singh, lives next to the station. He will receive you. So this letter went, and Julian Johnson caught the train, was on his way. When he was on his way, Great Master says to Bhagat Singh, let us play a little trick upon this American disciple. Now, by the way, when people tell me this story, they don't like the idea that masters play tricks also like that. But I can tell you, perfect living masters are very human beings, and they are full of such humorous things, and they can play many tricks also. He said to Bhagat Singh that Julian Johnson will be coming and landing at that station. You go and receive him and tell him that you are a long journey, you are very tired, let us go home and have a cup of tea. He will say, I have not come for a cup of tea, I would like to meet the master. Let's go to the Dera in Byas. You insist on it. No, come to my house, is next door, and have a cup of tea. He will get angry. All this great master is telling Bhagat Singh before he has ever met that American disciple. So when he gets very angry, then you bring him to your house. And what I will do, I will go and hide in your house. I will sit inside. Then when he's very angry, you bring him, and then you say, Dr. Johnson, I have a surprise for you. Then you bring him in, and he'll meet me, he'll be surprised. Let's surprise him on the first meeting. And that is exactly what happened. So I don't know how this was arranged, that the element of surprise would give him more value than if he just went like any seeker to the Dera to attend the meeting. The surprise was added to that element. Julian Johnson gets down, Bhagat Singh receives him, come and have a cup of tea. He says, no, I have not come for tea, I have come for seeing your master. And then ultimately he gets angry, he comes, and there he says, Dr. Johnson, I have a surprise for you. And there is great master sitting on a chair, and he's surprised. First words he speaks when he sees great master, Master, you came all the way to see me here? And great master said, you traveled thousands of miles, I only came 25 miles to see you. And then he sat down there, and he became speechless. Maybe because of that surprise, he was speechless. And he sat there for a couple of hours, and they went to the Dera. He wrote a letter the same night to his friends and to the Brocks in USA. He wrote, he's an amazing man whom I have met today. He is a true spiritual being manifested in human form. And if I get nothing more than what I got today, by sitting near him, I will have been satisfied I got whatever my journey was. That contact with him that day was so powerful. So this is something that, what happens to us is, that when we are ready to go back home, these things only happen when we are ready to go back home. When we are ready to go back home, what are the signs that we are ready? First sign is, we have had enough of this world. That we are no more interested. We say we have had enough of it. We are fed up. It is too messy. This can't be our place. These feelings come. When these feelings come, then only by coincidence, by accident, we come across a perfect living master. It's not merely we keep on searching. When we keep on searching, we meet many teachers, many gurus, many people who are teaching yoga and things like that. But when the time is ready to meet a perfect living master, at that time we feel we are ready because we are not interested anymore in being here. This is very subtle insight, because I remember one man came to me, a friend of mine, not a friend, acquaintance of mine. He said, you are telling people to go to the true home. Why should they? Look at me, he said, I am very happy. I've got a wonderful job. I've got a lot of money. I've got a nice family. I got a nice big house and a nice big car. What is the need for me to go to any true home? This is my true home. I'm very happy here. I said, in that case, certainly you don't have to go anywhere, just go and enjoy. Enjoy yourself. Your time is not for even thinking about going to true home. Your time is to enjoy what you are already enjoying. After 1 week, he comes back to me. He says, my life is a terrible hell. I said, how did it turn into hell in 1 week? He said, no, all these worldly things I have, but the lady that I really loved so much, she broke my heart. I have so much emotional pain in me that none of these things can even solve that. I can't sleep at night, I can't do this. The problem was that people are fed up not because of the worldly things, they are fed up because of their inner experiences. It's the emotional experience that makes them feel this is not the place. And this is the main sign that you are not ready to go back home. If you don't have that disappointment, you are not ready for this spiritual path, then enjoy. When the time will be right, you will feel like that, time will come. Now I want to tell you that when you meet a man we call a Sant Satguru or a perfect living master, I must define who that person is. Such a person is not a teacher, because all the teachings are in the books. Whatever these perfect living masters teach is all in the books. There are thousands of people teaching the same thing. And therefore, there is no need for one more teacher to come and become a perfect master. The perfect living master is our own self inside. We are ready, and the inner master is telling us to be ready and go home, not outside. Our true master is inside us to start with, and that little nudge that is given to us from inside is the nudge given by our own higher self, which becomes like a master inside, and the nudge is given to take us back to our true home. Nothing to do with teachings. Teachings are only for the mind, not for the soul. Soul does not need any teaching. Soul wants to go back home. Time is up, had enough of it, I want to go home. Period. Since we cannot see our own self, since we cannot see our own perfect master, which is an embodiment made out of our own consciousness inside, since we can't see it, such a human being appears outside. Since we are looking for everything outside, even the master appears outside. He is different from others. He does not come here to teach us anything. He comes us to take us back home. Period. His job is simple. This soul is ready to go back home. He appears and becomes a friend and takes back the soul to its true origin through one method only. And that method is love and devotion, not meditation, not working and struggling hard. Because meditation is a mental activity. Struggle is a mental activity. Soul does not struggle, mind struggles. These are all devices. Meditation do this only for our mind, so that we can keep the mind out of the way. Otherwise, mind creates doubt, mind creates obstacles, and therefore to appease the mind, to keep it happy, okay, mind loves teachings. Therefore, the masters also temporarily become teachers. But if you associate with these masters for some time, you will find they come to be our friends. They come to take us as friends and as co-travelers, joining hands to go together. It's a very big difference between somebody saying, this is the route you can take home, now go, or saying, let us go together. Perfect living masters never sent any soul on the journey to their true home on themselves. They don't say, here's the way, now you go. They say, we will go together as friends. Because the spiritual journey is a journey within our own consciousness, And there are negative and positive things that happen inside. So they train us how to be positive, how to go together, and once they accept us as friends, that acceptance is called initiation by a perfect living master. Initiation by a perfect living master is the biggest event that can take place, according to me. There is nothing bigger or greater of importance than an initiation in a human life by a perfect living master. A perfect living master is different from all other teachers because he does not go by the teaching he has heard or seen inside from stage to stage. He is at once in awareness of all levels of consciousness while still in a human body in front of us. It's a totally different experience. As I was saying in the morning, that we have created a reality. This is physical reality we are living in. When you will die, an astral reality will open up. This physical will disappear. For some time there is an overlap of experiences where you will be able to see the physical reality, but you will not be physical. And you will also see a non-physical reality, which is astral reality. Why do we call it astral? Is because astral means relating to the sky. Because in these experiences in meditation, we find the color of the sky changes. This is a physical sky. You go outside at night, it is dark. In the daytime, the sun shines it up, and it's changing color, blue to dark. The inner sky, the first inner sky, does not change color at all. It remains a subdued whitish, greyish color at all times. So from the sky which is different from the sky, we call it the astral stage. The causal sky is even more different. It's an orange colored sky. That means when the sun is setting, if you see a sun setting, it becomes big, looks bigger when the sun is setting. Supposing you make that glow, that golden glow of the sun, and stretch it, make the whole sky, that's the sky of the causal region. So from the sky we can have an idea where our attention is roaming around during meditation. The third one, of course, is not a space-time sky, but it's still a very deep, like if the sun shining, white sun shining became the sky. There's so much light in that area. These are different skies, that is why these names were given to different experiences inside. But a perfect living master, or anybody who reaches the same state, even if it is not a master, is able to hold the attention at all levels at the same time. Not to have one level now and then go to the another one and stop this one, cut off this one, take the next one, cut off that one, have the next one. Right up to the stage where we find our own self, our soul, which we call Par Brahm. The Brahm, which we use the word Brahm, is for the causal plane, for the universal mind. And most people have been thinking that that is the creative power, Brahm, everything comes from there. Yes, everything in space-time comes from there. So the definition of Brahm as the creator of the three worlds is correct, but not creator of everything. Time, space are created above that, and that is what we call Par Brahm, which means beyond the physical and mental creation. Up to Par Brahm, you can also feel that reality, all others become unreal. People who have meditated, they find they leave their experience of one body, go to the next one. Then they leave that experience, go next one. At one time, only one reality is being experienced by them. But when you go beyond that to a true home, everything is in the true home, all the levels. That is why you then become aware of all the levels, even while you are sitting in a physical body here. Perfect living masters are human beings, ordinary human beings like us. Don't think they are any different as beings, as human beings. Their body structure is the same. They are born the same. They die the same. They fall sick the same. They eat food the same. They take medicine the same. No difference in the physical structure of a perfect living master and ourselves. We are all the same. Everything they have, we all have. Only difference is awareness, knowledge, awareness who they are. And the awareness when you are in the true home, Sachkhand, is total. Total means you are aware of physical, astral, causal, spiritual, Parbrahm, Sachkhand, everything at the same time. That's a very big difference in the experience. Therefore, when we meet that person who is a projection of our own master inside, we're just projecting outside. When we meet such a person, we get the feeling this person knows us better than we know ourselves. Feeling may come immediately or may come over a certain time. But the feeling comes, this is our own personality, it's like a mirror to us. After that, the perfect living master talks to us from the level where we are, because he is at all times, at all levels. It's not an experienced person, one who got enlightenment and is now sharing his enlightenment. These people are aware of everything when they speak. Therefore, they never speak from any learning. They speak from what they are experiencing. That is why you will notice, if you come across these perfect living masters, you will notice that they have no maybes and perhapses in their talk. They're absolutely certain what they say. And so can you be. They say there is a stone called philosopher's stone. They say if it touches iron, it becomes gold. Masters are not like those philosopher's stone that turn iron into gold. They are philosopher's stone that turns iron into philosopher's stone. If one is initiated by a perfect living master, the guarantee is you will be exactly like the master, not less. They are not come to make us better people. They come to make us identical with them with total awareness of everything. Therefore, there's a vast difference. But during the course of our spiritual seeking, when we are ready to go back home, we do come across many teachers, many gurus we meet. Why do we meet those gurus? Because we have to satisfy the seeking that we are translating into mental seeking. We are making a spiritual seeking of our soul into a desire of the mind. Desires are different from seeking. Desires come from mind, seeking comes from the soul. And the soul is seeking, and desire may be something very different. But sometimes it is the same. In order to help the mind to keep peace and say, all right, we'll get what you want, mind only wants pleasure. Mind wants good experience, does not want any bad experience. Therefore, they put in a few kind of good experiences in our life so that to satisfy the mind. To that extent, they become teachers. But that is not their purpose. We can, with our effort, with the mind's effort, go within, concentrate our attention, and see our inner body, our astral body. We can, with our mind's effort, with our thought process, our control, willpower and control, we can go further and even reach the causal plane and have the level of what we call the Brahm state. Mind can do that. Beyond that, mind cannot do anything because that is where the mind comes from. There is no mind above that. Then how do you have a journey beyond the mind? How do you go to a spiritual journey? The spiritual journey cannot be performed by any kind of effort, whether meditation or yag, tap or anything. Nothing can take us beyond that because when we try to do something, it's always mind. Therefore, the only way to go beyond the mind is to be pulled by something that is beyond the mind. And the thing that pulls us is the love that exists outside. That means beyond the mind. Love has to pull us. That is why they say the true spiritual path is only of love and devotion, not meditation. Meditation is for the mind. Love and devotion for the soul. These masters, perfect living masters, come and they draw us with their love. They draw us in a subtle way. They draw us with their love because their intention is to take our soul to a true home and not only get experiences up to the mind. So the real secret of the spiritual path is to be drawn beyond the mind from something that exists beyond the mind, which is our own self. Our own souls are there, and that comes up in the form of a perfect living master in human form and pulls us inward. This experience of love that we get with a perfect living master, I cannot find any way to replicate it here because it is totally unconditional. The love of a perfect master is absolutely without judgment. These masters don't look at our record and say, you bad karma, you're not ready. You got good karma, you're ready. No, nothing at all to do with the karma. They look at the soul. When we appear before these perfect masters and they're looking at us, they're not looking at our body. They're not looking at our thoughts. They're not looking at our karma. They're looking at our soul. The soul is ready to go back home. And the effect of their presence with us is on our souls, not on our mind. Mind can keep on doubting even, and the soul is still pulling us towards them. So this is the path of love and devotion only. And this is the thing that will take us beyond. We had to be pulled by them, pulled beyond the mind. And that happens when we have reached the stage of the causal plane, and then we can't do anything more after that with our mind. We can't struggle. It's useless. Only effortless meditation. What is effortless? You are not doing anything, putting no effort, but being pulled by the love, unconditional love of a master pulls you through. These unconditional lovers of ours who come into our life, they love us when they have spotted us as marked souls, marked for being the soul that will go back to true home with that particular soul who has come in the form of a perfect master. That's the marking of soul. When a soul is marked for a particular master, he is a human being, we are also human beings. If we are marked, then automatically that person will be in our life and we'll be drawn by the love of that master, and he will love us no matter what our karma is. He will love if we love him, he will love if we hate him, he will love if we kill him. That's the kind of love. And no judgment whatsoever. Mind is the judge. Mind judges all the time. Again, I remember a man came to great master one evening and he said, Master, forgive me. You told me not to drink alcohol. I drank a lot of alcohol last night. You told me not to eat meat, be a vegetarian. I had a lot of meat with friends. You told me be of a good moral character. I was a womanizer and we were bad company last night. I did everything wrong last night. Please forgive me. And this is when great master was sitting with letter writing, and about 20-30 people were there. I saw this with my own eyes, this experience of the man telling these things to great master, please forgive me. Great master said, okay, you are forgiven, don't do it again. He said, thank you, and he ran away. His secretaries were surprised, who were sitting next to him, writing letters. They said, Master, this man committed so much sin. He disobeyed you. And he just comes and says, forgive me, you say, forgiven? He said, what can I do? Poor man has already punished himself and he's come to me for asking forgiveness, but I had to forgive him. The secretary sitting next says, but Master, supposing he does the same things again, will you again forgive him? He said, I will, I think, again forgive him. Master, when will you punish him? He said, look, there are too many punishers in this world. The mind itself is a punisher. That man is getting punished by his own mind. Please don't put me amongst punishers. Let me remain among forgivers. These perfect living masters are always 100% forgivers. They know we are trapped and punishing ourselves with guilt and so on all the time. They don't come to add to our punishment. But the powers that be in the negative world of time and space here, who we call Kal, negative power, they are bent upon punishing. Law of karma is designed to punish and reward, not masters. So perfect living masters are very different in that way. Now we can, because our mind loves to learn and struggle, and we have identified ourselves with the mind, so we love to learn, struggle, work hard. We have indoctrinated ourselves. You can get nothing unless you work for it. Everything requires struggle. So we struggle on the spiritual path, which we need not do, by the way. We should relax and soak in the love of a master like that and go back home. But the mind says, no, we have to work, we can't get anything without it. So master says, no, meditate so many hours, do this thing, follow these rules. Rules and regulations are all for the mind. Mind loves rules and regulations. If you classify things for them, put them in order, do these things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, mind says that's a good lesson. Suppose there are no numbers in it, it's not a good lesson. Mind is built like that. And that is why we make struggle and we try to work hard to get things, including spiritual truth, which does not require work hard. It requires just acceptance of the love of the master, and flow with it and go back home. We can't do that till we have tried it out. Now I'll tell you 2 true stories. One about having more than a master. Excuse me for a minute. I'll tell you the story I've told before of a disciple of great master named Trilok Chand. Trilok Chand was an engineer in Burma. And he was a little bit of miserly person. Miserly means that if he had $1 in his hand, of course local currency in his hand, he said, now this is $1, should I spend it or not to spend? To spend, not to spend. Not to spend, put it in your pocket. That was the kind of person. So by that means, although he had just a job as an engineer, he was able to save 30,000 rupees at that time, which was a lot of money in those days. So 30,000 rupees he had, but his seeking was very strong. He tried to meet many holy people, whoever came to Burma. He was in Rangoon. And then he found out that there was one yogi Swami in Madras, now called Chennai, that city, and he can teach you how to go inside and get enlightened. So he left his job, he retired and came back to Madras, and he met that Swami. And he said, I understand, Swamiji, that you can enlighten a person and give true knowledge inside. He said, yes, I can, but have you heard the story of King Janak? So he asked him if he had heard that famous story, and you must have, many of you, heard the story, how King Janak was one of the rulers of India. Now I'm bringing a story within a story, it doesn't matter, that's how stories become wrong. King Janak was ruling India, and he was a seeker also of truth. So he told his ministers and advisors, I want to find real truth. I want real knowledge. Not fake knowledge of learning and books, real knowledge. And they said, King, you are living in a country which is full of these yogis, swamis, enlightened people. The whole country is full of them. All you need is to have a yag, that means a feast, a holy feast. Have good food prepared and call all of them. And then when they are here, you can get real knowledge from them. So the king held a big feast, and many yogis, swamis, some in white color, some in yellow color, some in black color, some in no color, some in no dress, all of them came. And there's so many kinds of sadhus and swamis in India. So he put up a big camp with tents and all, and he disguised himself as an ordinary tourist, that nobody would know he is the king. And King Janak roamed around amongst them, trying to see what they are talking, what they are teaching. And he found that they were very angry people. He found they were very proud and egoistic about their own knowledge. And they were arguing with each other. Some were coming to blows with each other, fighting. No, my book says this, your book is not saying this. So on the same book they were fighting. It says one thing or the other thing. He said, these are people who are all having book knowledge. They are learned people but have no knowledge. I don't want this kind of learning, I want true knowledge. So he came back disappointed. And he told his ministers and secretaries, I went to all those people, they are all book knowledge people. These people are learned, but don't have true knowledge of who we are, what our truth is, what the soul is. They have no idea. They just keep on repeating the words they have read. So the ministers and secretaries said, King, you did not give enough time. We should have called people from all over the country. This was just a one-day affair. Now you have a 7-day affair. And we, by beat of drum, we'll inform everybody in the country. So the king said, all right. So they arranged a 7-day event like that. And people came from all over the country. And the king again disguised himself incognito. He walked amongst them. And he heard the same story all over again for 7 days. They were all people full of ego, full of I know more than you know, just fighting like that. And nobody having any real knowledge or experience, all talking of what the books are saying. Some of them remembered the whole Vedas and all the Shrutis and Sanskrit terms and their own languages, keep on repeating them. Nobody had any real knowledge. He was very disappointed. So then his secretaries and ministers said, if you want that kind of knowledge, the man who can give you that knowledge won't come to these feasts of yours. Is there such a man? Yes, one man sits on the bank of the river, and his name is Ashtabakar. Ashta means 8. Ashtabakar means he has 8 humps on his back. His deformed body. His body is deformed, but his soul is enlightened. You should go and ask him. So the king went to Ashtabakar in his little hut on the river, and Ashtabakar got up. Majesty, what brings you here? He said, I have not come as a king, I have come as a beggar, I have come as a seeker. I want true knowledge. Please come to my palace and share your true knowledge with us. Ashtabakar said, certainly, if you king, you come yourself to me, I will come. Date was fixed, and the king invited all the nobles and all other neighboring kingdoms, people, rulers, and their wives, and all nobility and royalty. And they all assembled in the big auditorium. Ashtabakar came with about 7 or 8 of his disciples, and they took off their shoes at the entrance of the gate, which was a customary thing at that time. And so, as Ashtabakar walked in, all those people began to look at him and began to murmur, this deformed person has been called to give us knowledge. The king is quite a fool, he's crazy to call such a man to teach us what is true knowledge. So Ashtabakar kept walking. The king had placed 2 chairs on the stage, one for himself, one for the master. So Ashtabakar sat down and he said, King, what is the price of leather today? The king said, Master, I invited you to tell us about true knowledge. What has leather to do with it? And Ashtabakar said, are these not leather merchants sitting here? He said, no, Master, these are royalty, nobility. They have all been collected from different neighboring kingdoms. All the Rajas have come here. He said, oh, I thought they were leather merchants because the way they were looking at my skin, I thought maybe they are interested in leather or skin only. So then the people realized that this master has some sense of humor. So they began to listen to him. Then Ashtabakar said, King, what kind of knowledge do you want? King Janak said, I want instant knowledge. Which makes me think sometimes he might have been an American in a past life. They like everything instant. Instant coffee, instant knowledge. Anyway, he said, even an instant is time. How much time is in 1 instant? The king said, when I go out horse riding, from the time I put my foot into the stirrup and jump on the saddle, that's 1 instant. Ashtavakra said, for such an instant knowledge, you have to pay a price. He said, certainly, Master, I'll pay any price. My coffers, my treasury is open. Whatever price you quote, I will pay for that kind of instant knowledge. He said, I want 3 things. The king said, you can have 10. You just name. He said, only 3 things I want. I want you to give your body. I want you to give your wealth. And I want you to give your mind to me. When you are given these 3 things, I will give you instant knowledge. It was a strange price tag. But the seeking was so strong in King Janak. He said, Master, my body is at your disposal. All my wealth is yours. And my mind is also yours. Now give me instant knowledge. He said, are you sure you have given me these 3 things? Yes, Master. All right. Then King Janak, if your body is mine, I can place it where I like. So you get up from here and go and sit on my shoes that I left near the door. The king got up to go to the shoes. Now as he's walking, people say, what stupid game have we come to watch here? We thought some nice lecture will be coming on enlightenment and true knowledge. And what a deformed man has come telling our king to go sit on the shoes. What kind of knowledge is that? So they were murmuring like that and wondering what is happening. So the king heard them murmur like that as he was walking toward the shoes. He said, these people don't know. They don't know. They think I've got so much wealth and I've got palaces and so on, and now I'm behaving like a beggar. When this thought came to him, Ashtavakra shouted from the stage, who was still sitting there. He said, King, you have no business to think of your wealth. You already given it to me. He said, oh my God, I forgot. It is not my palaces, my wealth at all. That I have already given to the king. When he was thinking like this, Ashtavakra shouted, you can't even think what you are thinking because you given your mind to me. Oh, I can't even think. And he put his hands up like this and said, I can't even think. I given thoughts to him. At that very instant, he got instant knowledge. And the master said, come back. You don't have to sit on the shoes. Come back and sit here. Now tell me, did you get true knowledge? King said, yes, master. Was it given in an instant? Yes, master, it was less than an instant. Then king said, this was a sample of true knowledge. I've given you a sample of true knowledge. Now, I give you back your body, your wealth, and your mind. But I give you back only for use. Remember, they belong to Ashtavakra. If you can remember that your body and your wealth and your mind belongs to your master, given to you for use, and then you meditate, you'll get the same experience once again. So he gave a simple example by which if we can think all things we have are belonging to the Lord, belonging to Master, belonging to God, given to us only for use, including our body, including our mind. If we think like that, meditation becomes much simpler. We are able to make good headway. So this Swami of Madras reminded Trilokchand, have you heard the story of King Janak? He said, yes, Swamiji, I have heard. He said, I act on the same principle. Give me your body, give me your wealth, and give me your mind, I'll give you enlightenment. Now Trilokchand, who could not even spend a single rupee, was willing at that time to give anything to get true knowledge. He said, Master, just like King Janak, he said, Master, my body is yours, my wealth is yours, and my mind is yours. Now give me knowledge. He said, let's start with the wealth. How much do you have? He said, I have 30,000 rupees I brought with me. He said, put them into my account. I have to start building a temple. This man was so keen to find the truth. He gave all his 30,000 rupees right there to the Swami. Then Swami said, now give me your body, and in that you have to perform a pranayam, a kind of breathing exercise in which I will give you a mantra. You repeat the mantra with inhaling the breath once from one nostril and one from the other alternately. And you are not allowed to use your fingers or your hands. Because if you use your fingers and hands, your attention will be going out to the fingers and hands, and this is a matter of internal journey, and therefore you can't use. It has to be done internally. To do internally, you have to bend your tongue backwards, and the tongue should do like that, from inside, alternate breathing. And since the tongue is attached by tendons, I'll have to cut these tendons for you. He said, my master made me cut my tendons, and he took his tongue out like a snake's tongue, just detached. He said, I practice it, now you'll have to practice to make it a sacrifice of your body. I'll not do a simple surgical procedure. I'll rub with some sandpaper and with nettle, that's kind of a plant that stings too much. I'll do bichubuti. I'll do with that, so you'll cry. That will be a sacrifice to get true knowledge. It's a big torture. Every day he went through the torture, and after 1 month, the tongue was separated. And he could do the same thing as Swami could do. Then he began to practice pranayama by putting the tongue inside, one breath here, one breath this side. Then he said, now you give your mind to me, and he told him more mantras to go proceed further. After several months of practice, Lokchan said, Swamiji, I haven't got what I came for. These are all external things I am doing. And although sometimes I feel some peace of mind, sometimes I can see some colors when I close my eyes, I'm not getting any real knowledge. Swamiji said, that's all I can give you. If you want something more, you have to find some other guru, I can't give you more. Much later, some years later, he came and met the same master I have, Baba Sawan Singh. And he got initiated there. And he made rapid progress. One day we were sitting together, and great master was sitting in a jovial mood. And Lokchan comes up and says, Master, if I had known that the real experience and knowledge will come from you, I would not have given those 30,000 rupees to that Swami. And the great master laughed. He said, the Lokchan, you don't know. The day you came to me, I transferred those 30,000 into my account. Then he explained to all of us who were sitting there. He said, no time is ever wasted on a spiritual seeking. People who say we have gone to a guru, he may be perfect guru or not, are mistaken. That is the time for them to be at that stage with that particular guru, particular teacher. Even the description of a guru is defined as the first guru is the mother, second guru is a school teacher. Then you come into the ultimately spiritual teacher, religious teacher, then spiritual teacher. 4 gurus are right there. And then you can have many gurus in your life till you reach a point where you find this is not working. And a perfect living master comes into your life and pulls you with his love and devotion. That's an example to show you that we sometimes get caught up in this thing also. Is my guru perfect or not? It's an irrelevant question on the spiritual path. Because you will only have the guru you need at that time. But if your seeking is for your true home, a perfect living master will come into your life. You don't have to find a master. You can never find a master. A perfect living master can never be found by anybody. Because he's too human like us. He is no different from us. And his awareness is only different, which we can't see. And that is why when we are ready, they say, when Chela is ready, Guru appears. They don't say when Chela is ready, he can find a Guru. Guru appears by coincidence, by accident, by strange circumstances. It happens in our life. Therefore, I always tell my friends who are questioning, how far has my Guru gone? I said, nobody can know that. How do you know how far a particular person has gone or not gone? Is there any way to judge somebody from their face? I said, a few things I can tell you. A little checklist. A perfect living master will never say he's a master. Why? He doesn't need to. He's not come to proclaim who he is, he's come to take us to our true home. He will reveal his identity to the marked soul. Another person who is not on the list may not ever notice it. Therefore, there's no way one can find a perfect living master. But when one seeks inside, he appears. Always. Now, I'm telling you my own experience around the world. I've traveled maybe 75 times around this planet Earth, in different countries. Seekers are the same everywhere. And the gurus appear in their life when they are ready for it. Perfect living masters. Meantime, they are being guided by whatever is available, whatever they want at that time. It's not necessary that one master should be a master for everybody. He's there for the marked souls, an ordinary person for the others. You can find teachers, but the checklist would be he never declares he's a master. Secondly, he never makes his sharing of spiritual awareness a business. There's no fee charged, that there'll be a fee for this thing or any particular compensation he wants for giving spiritual knowledge. A perfect master won't do that. He will not perform public miracles for the sake of providing society something. He will perform private miracles for the seeker who will see them again and again. But if the seeker who has private miracle shares with somebody, they will say that is just a coincidence. It will not look like a miracle to them. He will never say that follow me. He will say follow the real Guru inside yourself. He will not draw you outside. He will draw you, push you inside. These are some basic things that you will always find when you hit upon a person who is going to be your perfect living master. But otherwise, you can't know who is one. When a perfect living master comes into our life, we feel a change in our spirit, in our spiritual being. There is a little tussle that takes place between the mind and our own being, our soul. Soul is very happy, mind is doubtful. And this clash comes because the mind raises many questions. As I said in the morning, mind can make you spend the whole life in asking questions. And some people do. They spend their whole life asking questions. Till my questions are answered, I can't believe it, I can't accept it. Therefore, they come back again and again, even after being accepted, when they are ready. And they find that it's not a game of mental questioning at all. It's a game of seeking your true home and going back, relaxing in the state of your own awareness, own knowledge. That is why the method these masters teach for accessing your own self inside are customized for each person. It does not mean that a master has a standard book and they give the answers from that book. They can give two different answers to two people almost simultaneously. Again, one instance I remember with the great master Roldi, a man and his daughter came and said, Master, my daughter has grown up now and she wants to go to college, go to higher study, and we think she should get married. What should we do? Great master said, what's the difference between boys and girls? If boys can go to college, she can also go to college. Let her go to college. He said, thank you, master, went away. Within minutes, the second man comes with his daughter and he says the same thing, that my daughter's grown up, she wants to go to college, and we said she should be married. Great master says, what has girls to do with college? They should bring up the home, get her married. Within 5 minutes, he's changing his whole opinion. Which is the correct answer then? Both are correct answers for those two people. And we start thinking of a master's answer given to a certain person as applicable to us. This came to my notice when I found there's a book called Spiritual Gems. It contains letters of my master to American disciples. And the letters are contradictory. In some of them, he is saying, do more meditation. In some others are saying, it is not meditation, it's the grace of a master that helps you. The grace of master depends on that. What is your effort going to do? The contradictions. But they were appropriate replies to those two people. Now we read a book and try to apply to ourselves. Then which one should we apply? Our mind can get confused. Actually, books do confuse us a lot. The more books you read, the more confused you will be. You can try them out. Therefore, it's a personal experience we have. A personal experience with a perfect living master that guides us what to do. Now, I had promised to you in the morning that we will do some meditation. I think this is a time when I should introduce that to you. Before doing meditation, I normally do 2 exercises. And these have become quite well known and popular. One is called the orange juice experiment. How many of you have done it before? How many of you have never done it? How many of you have never heard of it? Oh, then there's plenty to do. So we are going to do that orange juice experiment first. And then we will do another experiment and then do meditation. Okay, now in the orange juice experiment, we will imagine. Now there are 3 things we need for these experiments and for meditation. Remember them. Only 3 things we all have. First, imagination. Second, attention. Third, concentration of attention. If we can handle these 3, we can achieve anything we want. So in this experiment, we will imagine that our body is made of glass and is empty inside. Empty, hollow body made of glass. And we will, by imagination, fill it up with orange juice, starting from the feet, the toes of the feet, filling it up on the legs and all the way up, right to the top of the head, into the arms, and up to fingertips. The whole body made of glass, by imagination, is to be filled up with orange juice. Now, in this body, there are some valves attached to the fingertips and to the toes of the feet. When we press the fingertips, the orange juice flows out, drop by drop. If we don't press, it remains inside. So I will give you instruction from time to time when to press your hands or your toes, and otherwise you have a complete orange juice filled up to the top. So close your eyes and be very still. If you move around, the glass body will crack. Now we have to work on this imaginary event, that the glass body will crack, so be very still and through your imagination fill it up. Close your eyes, fill it up right to the top of your head. You might notice when we do our meditation, I often do like this. This is, if you go to deeper meditation, to get back quickly into physical awareness, this helps to rub yourself a little. How many of you could do this exercise? How many of you could not do it? Well, we can do practice again sometime. What was the object of doing it? The object of doing it was that you can move your attention anywhere in the body. As I gave different instructions, you moved your attention from the top of the head all the way down. Simple experience of use of attention. This very attention you will use in meditation effectively. Now, experiment number 2. In this experiment, you will go to the place where we will always meditate in future. That is the third eye center behind the eyes. In this experiment, you will imagine that this body of yours is a house in which you live. It has 6 floors based upon the 6 chakras on the torso. And you are at the 6th floor behind the eyes. Make that a nice floor. That means make it a hard floor, not soft. If it is soft, you will go to sleep. If it is hard, you will keep your attention there. Make it little pretty, beautiful, nice carpet, or imaginary. nice carpet, nice cushion or rug on which you like to meditate, or a nice chair. I am invited sometimes to friends' houses and they are very keen to show me where they meditate. We have a special room for meditation. Then I go and see the room. I said, if you meditate in that room, you will be meditating on the room and not on yourself. Some people buy expensive little rugs for meditation. They sit on the rug. This is for meditation. The mind is constantly on the rug. That's no good. Meditation in any place outside keeps you outside. The place to meditate is inside. If you like rugs, put them there. You like flowers, put them there. You like incense, burn it there. Whatever has to be done effectively has to be done there. We'll come to that when we meditate, but first exercise is to imagine this is your house. You are sitting behind the eyes in the little chamber. The ears are on either side of you. The rest of the body is below you. Top of the head is above you. Nice little chamber, cozy place. And you sit in the middle on a chair, like you're sitting now. A chair should be inside. On the side, have a little table like this one. Have some nice flowers put up, not necessarily these, flowers of your choice. Have a drink, maybe water or maybe any other drink. And a plate of favorite snack. Your favorite snack, put it on the table. Once you have done that, I will give you instructions what to do next. So close your eyes, go back to the 6th floor of your house. Sit behind the eyes. How many of you could see flowers? How many of you saw flowers that we've never seen before? Very good. How many of you saw flowers changing colors? Very good. How many of you saw flowers emitting light or color like a light in it? Very good. How many of you could taste the drink? How many of you remember it was the old drink? How many of you had taste of a new drink today? Very good. How many of you had a taste of the snack? How many of you have still got a taste of the snack in your mouth now? Very good. What have we done in this exercise is merely showing you that these 5 sense perceptions, you took part in all of them. And there were no flowers. There was no drink. They were all imaginary. But the experience of touching, tasting, smelling was total experience, the same that you have here. In fact, you had experience that is not here. You can look at flowers in this world any number of times, they will never change colors. And so many of you saw flowers changing colors. How many of you saw flowers that we've never seen before? So many of you. This means that there is something you are seeing which is inside, not outside. Your eyes were closed. Did you notice these eyes had nothing to do with it? Did any of you get a headache while doing this? Anybody got a headache? No. If you try to force yourself now, you'll get headache. So this was an experience of your inner self, the self that has all the sense perceptions, and there was no matter involved. All this imaginary experience came from within yourself. So this was merely to show you that your inner experience can carry all sense perceptions without a problem. Was it difficult to sit behind the eyes? Let's do that once again. From there we will be proceeding to real meditation. Just relax. No pressure on the eyes or the head. This has nothing to do with the eyes or the head. Meditation has nothing to do with the physical body and strain, or putting a strain on your eyes or putting a strain on your head. It is to relax there. So close your eyes, go back to the 6th floor, sit in an easy chair, and simply relax. Don't think of anything except relaxing there. Look at your chair, look at the surroundings inside, look at the carpet, look at the sky above or the roof above, and nothing outside. Don't think of anything outside for a few minutes. Just what is happening inside. How many of you could do this, to just relax inside? How many of you know the place now well enough to meditate there? So all meditation will start there and not outside at all. Now this looks like a simple statement. It's a very important statement. People sit outside with the physical body, close their eyes, their consciousness is of the body and where they are sitting. It does not leave them. You can sit 2 hours, you can sit 4 hours. You will be stuck to the ground. You won't go inside. People are doing it. It is absolutely necessary if you want to make your meditation successful and effective to start from there, nowhere else. That alone should be your meditation chamber. Go there first, then start anything. You want to repeat any mantra, do any simran, it has to be done there, not outside. It was so important that I myself made many years loss. I was initiated very young. I had a head start that way, but I was just closing my eyes and thinking I am meditating when I was sitting on the physical floor. We were not even inside. I went to Great Master and he told me it's absolutely essential that first you establish yourself there before starting anything. Whether you want to repeat words, or you want to hear the music, or you want to dhyan of your master, to contemplate his face, first go there, then start. I also had a problem, how to go there. Then he told me simple method. He said, it's a matter of imagination. It's not that you have to force yourself somewhere. You can easily imagine things. He said, raise your hand like this. I raised my hand. He says, imagine, now I can't see my hand, it's above me. Imagine you're sitting on top of that. Can you imagine? And I said, yes, I can move right up there. He said, now come. Are you still sitting there? Yes, I'm still sitting there. Bring it near. Jump in. And I jumped in and I was there. Would you like to try that? How to jump in? Very simple. Raise your hands like this. Imagine you are right on top. You can't see yourself, but you know you are there. Bring it slowly down. You're still there. Still there. Now jump in. And you're inside. So these are simple techniques we are using, which are very important. I came to this country for studying in the 60s and would attend satsang. And people would say, you are teaching us something new. I said, no, I am only telling you what I got clarification from Great Master. He clarified to me that your attention will not gather inside. If you start by putting attention outside on things, you start from there. He said, where does he say this? Show us a book where it says. I said, do you have any book with Great Master's writings? That is when they brought spiritual gems. And they said, here are letters. So I took that book for one night. At 16 places I could clearly mark, he written in his letters, first you must establish behind the third eye center, then only meditate. People don't read even. This makes a very big difference. You can lose a lot of time by not sitting there and just sitting outside and saying, I am meditating. That becomes a ritual only. Now I know you have, some of you sent some questions also. In the few minutes I'd like to take up some questions. Now who has the questions? Can you come up please? You can read one question at a time.
Okay.
We'll take a few. I'll take more tomorrow.
Sometimes in life, the people who are being spiritual and good have to face all kinds of difficulties. Whereas those who live a very worldly life have a smooth ride and are very successful. Why does this happen?
I'll repeat the question. Sometimes in life, the people who are being spiritual and good have to face all kinds of difficulties, whereas those who live a very worldly life have a smooth ride, they're very successful. Why does this happen? Our successfulness or our failures are based on our karma. Very often, perfect living masters, when they're helping their disciples to move forward, they want you to pay off your karma faster than normal. And very often it happens, we used to go to satsang. We had more trouble during that time than normally. And we used to say, why does this happen? Because the purpose of a perfect living master's interaction with us is not to lessen the karma, not to make it smoother in this physical life, but to make us get tired of this physical life and say we don't want any more and go back home. If it was only that you become more successful and have a smooth life, then of course their object would be to make you smooth and stuck here even more. Their object is to take you inside, not keep you longer here. That is why sometimes you have that experience. But if the hardship is too much, they will take upon themselves the hardship and help you. But they will not try to put you more into worldly activities. They are trying to take you out of worldly activities. Our desires for worldly success, our desire for worldly things is the one that's stopping us from going back home. So they can't encourage more of it. And that is why they sometimes do that.
Many religions and spiritual organizations start with the purpose of explaining the need of a guru. Then they become so big that the ones who really need to meet the guru don't get a chance to get close to him and consult him. Only the more affluent seem to have access. Would like to please give your views on this.
I'll read the question. Many religions and spiritual organizations start with the purpose of explaining the need of a guru. Then they become so big that the ones who really need to meet the guru don't get a chance to get close to him and consult him. Only the more affluent seem to get across. Would you like to please give your views? My views are that the spiritual path is a completely one-on-one relationship with a guru. It's not a collective relationship. The size of the guru's following has no relevance to your relationship with the guru. When a guru initiates you, he becomes your friend. He becomes friend first and guru afterwards. He is more of a friend, less of a guru. The guru is revealed when you follow instructions and see him inside. Before that is blind faith. Before that just believing it. But the real thing is to see his real radiant form inside. At that time, it doesn't matter how many followers there are, your guru will have a one-on-one relationship with you. Great Master told me that one thing one should do a disciple as soon as possible after initiation is to practice enough of manifesting the radiant form of the Master inside and be able to talk to him while the Master is still alive. Because once that happens, even if the Master dies physically, the inner master will always be with you 24/7. So therefore, the real relationship is one-on-one with the Guru. But what happens? Throughout history, when Gurus have come, they have come for their marked souls. But many other people also come. They get benefit that one day they also find a master. But all of them are not marked. I sometimes, for ease of explaining, call it list A and list B. List A are the people for whom the master has come, and they are taken back to Sachkhand, to their true home, within the lifetime, that lifetime, and with the same master. There are some others who get interaction with masters. They have a darshan of a master. They get marked for another master, sometimes in the same life, sometimes in a future life. Then they have to come back and work their way out. Closeness to a physical master is essential if you haven't had the radiant form of the master inside. Till that time, you should see the master as often as you can. One American disciple of great master asked him this question: Master, how often should we come and see you to have physical darshan? Great master said, if you don't see me inside in meditation, come as often as you can. But master, tell us some rule of thumb. How often? He says, best is to come and see me every day. I say, Master, how can we come and see you every day? There's so many people. And we may be living far away. We are not living in the same place where you are living. Okay, in that case, once a week should be good enough. I remember my own grandfather, by Ishwar Puri, he heard this statement and he met Great Master every week on weekends without fail. Because he said 1 week should be good enough. He said, what about Master living people who can't afford to come and travel? He said, then once a month is also okay. Then the American disciple said, Master, we live overseas and it's very difficult to travel to come. He says, in that case, once a year is good enough. He says, Master, what about people who cannot see you even once in 1 year? He said, then they should wait for the next life. So he explained how important it is to have the physical experience of meeting the Master. Now there are two things when we meet the Master. One is called darshan. That means looking at the Master. Just looking at the face of a Master, especially his forehead and eyes, when you look at that. Forehead and eyes are very important of a Master because the mind cannot make it up. Mind can make up the rest of the face. Mind can even imagine faces look like a Master, you will see it doesn't have the same eyes and the forehead. Only when the Master appears inside, you'll be able to see clearly the face and the forehead and the eyes. So that is why these are just little tips given to us to know if our mind is playing games with us or Master is really there whom we can ask any questions. Because if you're asking questions from your mind, you may not be getting the right answers. So if you cannot meet, and in history, numbers have always grown. Masters come for a few people, number grows, and it becomes a religion. What is the difference between religion and spirituality? Religion goes into a ritual. It becomes ritual, ceremony. We used to go to church, now we go to satsang. We used to go to temple, now we change, now we go to a satsang. That's just a religion. The truth is that you go to the Master for darshan, looking at the Master. Second part is Master gives attention to you, which is called drishti. Drishti is different from darshan. Darshan is when you look at the Master. Drishti is when Master looks at you. That is more valuable. And therefore, you should be able to present yourself to your Master, whoever it is, and have his drishti at least once a year. Otherwise, it becomes a waiting game. The keys to survive being spiritual in a non-spiritual family, the key is don't tell them. I remember somebody said, Master, a woman, a young girl, recently married, married to a man who didn't believe in Sant Mat at all. And he said, I will not let you go to your guru. But somehow she sneaked. She sneaked and came to great master. He said, Master, my husband, I married a husband who doesn't believe in you and doesn't want me to believe in you. So when I doesn't let me meditate, if I close my eyes, what are you doing? He's so tough on it. And great master said, no problem. Think of me in the bathroom, I'll be there. Go to any place, I'll be there. In your case, you don't have to even worry about it. If somebody, a disciple who's initiated by a perfect master, has problems like these, master solves them by giving the opportunity, they will have earlier access to the radiant form inside than the others. Master takes care of these situations. It does not mean that if the rest of the family is not spiritual, you can't be a disciple of the master. It's an internal relationship. And if you don't show too much outside, but show all your love and affection and devotion inside, it's actually better for spiritual life. So nobody can notice. I worked in the government. I was in the administrative service. I was chief secretary of a state. Nobody knew I was following a spiritual path. Because if I told them I'm following a master, they'll say he's crazy, he can't do his job. So I did not have to tell anybody, and none of them knew till after I retired that I was following a spiritual path. Therefore, it's not necessary to show off anything. It's an internal relationship, and you can have better benefit from a master if you're put in challenging situation. It's a challenging situation to be in a non-spiritual family, but you can still be a good disciple of the master. I'll see you tomorrow and have some more questions answered. And meditation will start tomorrow at the Third Eye Center. Okay? Not too much talking, more walking inside, not outside. Thank you very much.